in boxing. Man in boxing. Led the Flair Cops. Shout out to Goodfellas Sports TV.
Don't forget to check out our sponsor, The Health Blaze, at thehealthblaze.com. 100% all natural products from lotions, soaps, foot soaks, bath bombs, and much, much more. Use the promo code Goodfella1Boxing. Tell them your boy CJ Goodfella sent you, get 18% off. We out. All right, man, let's get into some boxing. This will be the first video I cut this morning. Well, shit, it's the afternoon. Now I'm a little bit late on the late freight today. But, hey, let's get into it. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, bell icon button. Share the video. Let's get into some boxing. We're going to talk about Canelo, Alvarez. It's an all Mexican video, right? You know, I'm showing versatility. I've been doing that. Big weight classes, medium weight classes, small weight classes, black fighters, Mexican fighters, white fighters. You get it all. Puerto Rican, you get it all over here. So, I mean, you can start off in several different places here. We're going to talk about Ramírez, Valdez, what he had to say about ducking Shakur, Stevenson, and Marcos from Fight Hub TV. But we start off with Canelo. I heard that Canelo is targeting in on Callum Smith. He won Callum Smith. It was a video circulating out there on Twitter that his coach Eddie Reynoso said that turned down David Lemieux like 10 times. But I also heard Callum Smith keep pricing himself out every time they come to the negotiation table, and this is since the beginning of the year. So he continues to price himself out. So not sure exactly where they want to go. They saying John Ryder pricing himself out. Golden Boy's trying to push Canelo towards another Golden Boy fighter to keep the money in the in-house. Golden Boy has just turned out to be a shitty-ass promotional company ever since Richard Schaefer and Al Heyman unofficially stopped working over there. All right? You know, Canelo wants one thing. Óscar and Eric Gomez and the other people want another thing. Nobody want to see Jason Quigley or Dave Lemieux or Torian Johnson. You know what I'm saying? And you know, Canelo won Callum Smith. Callum Smith is considered the lineal champion, so why wouldn't he? And he looked bad his last fight. Now, Callum Smith got like 7 inches of height reach on Canelo, but we talked about that in a video the other day where reach is not really, it's no longer an advantage. All right? That's what people need to understand. These dudes can't, you know, they can't maintain their distance no more in boxing like that. You know, they get drugged into the wars like Robinson Jr., Paul Williams. You don't have guys like Tommy Hearns that can keep dudes on the end of his punches. You've seen that with that 6'4" dude, Sebastian Fondor. You know, you got to be able to, you know, keep these dudes at the end of your punches. A lot of these dudes like to back up and start dancing and use their reach. And that's just giving the bigger fighter or the shorter fighter momentum to come forward and able to slip and get on the inside. And before you know it, you blink twice, you're in a war. But, you know, that's the best option, Callum Smith. But they saying he keep pricing himself out. Now, is that what Golden Boy is saying? Or that's what actually happening? But, you know, Golden Boy don't want to pay nobody. They don't have no money. The Zone don't have no money. So, I mean, you know, they talking about Canelo is taking a significant pay cut this next fight. He should. If I'm going to take a pay cut, it got to be worth the risk got to be worth the reward. And it is worth it. You know, this dude is the lineal champion off of winning a tournament where he absolutely fought nobody and then didn't fight George Groves at 100%. He had one shoulder and rushed back. So, in my opinion, if I had to rank him at 68, it's hard. You know, I know Callum Smith and Billy Joe ain't the best. It's between Caleb and David. And I give, you know, it's hard to pick because they really ain't done much. So, this division is a mystery, but they pushing more towards Quigley and more towards Lemieux. I'm guessing Lemieux, but Quigley is the guy. Quigley got stopped by Torian Johnson. So, if you don't want to see Torian Johnson, you probably don't want to see Jason Quigley as well. So, not sure, man. It's always money issues and battling over this and that with Golden Boy. Oscar De La Hoya had an article in Boxing Scene today where he says you got to beat the champ to make champion money. Floyd always played his fighters well. They took the fight. I mean, Canelo ain't no different. Ain't like you going in there versus a power puncher and you're risking your livelihood. I mean, you won't just get outboxed a couple rounds or quite a few rounds and lose. Canelo don't carry that power. That's why I just felt that the Kovalev fight was a setup. It was a swimming board dive, and I've been saying that since day one. But, you know, if it is an opponent, I like to see Callum Smith, but Callum Smith talking a good game. But at the same time, Callum Smith is keep pricing himself out. So I'm not sure what he want. Excuse me. I'm not sure exactly what he want as a fighter. When you fight Canelo, it's like fighting Floyd now. People want a good amount of money. You know, you got dudes that probably never even made $1 million, $2 million, asking for $3, $4, $5, $6, $7, $8 million. And this is what happened when you overpay Danny Jacobs. They paid Jacobs anywhere between $12 and $15 million. And Danny Jacobs was never a real world champion at that point. Danny Jacobs was, just starting to touch M's. Danny Jacobs, never had a real belt. That WBA belt he had was fake. He lost to Golovkin, and he come and get, $15 million versus Canelo. You know what I'm saying? Like, you looking at, Callum Smith like, shit, I was a world champion. I won a tournament. I got the ring belt. Oscar De La Hoya, I got your belt. You telling me I ain't at least worth half of what Danny Jacobs got? Kovalev got what, 11 and 12? Well, obviously Kovalev is a bigger name than anybody we named here, and he's a more accomplished fighter than anybody we named as a Canelo opponent. So, I mean, they just keep saying Callum Smith making it hard. These dudes is all talk. I'm telling y'all, stop believing what these fighters say, and it's gonna become prevalent. That's gonna become prevalent in this video again. Stop believing what they say. They get out here, they sound gangster to the fan. I want Canelo. They get out here and start asking for some money they promoter can't give them. They never made in their career. What Callum Smith can ask for? What has he made? Is he worth $5? I heard that they offered Derevchenko $5 million. That's all I pay Callum Smith, man. Don't nobody know who Callum Smith is. To be honest, as far as casual fandom, Callum Smith, Jason Quigley, Torian Johnson, Dave Lemieux probably do all the same numbers amongst the casual fans. And John Ryder, as a hardcore fan, I prefer Callum Smith. So that's who Canelo wants. He wants Callum Smith. Will Callum Smith step up and get beat down? Who knows? He didn't look good in his last fight. I didn't watch it. Like I said before, I've been kind of not watching the bullshit fights no more, man. I ain't watched no boxing in a while. The last fight card I watched was the Pedraza card. I watched a little bit of that, but like I said, man, until they start off better fights, I'm looking forward to Angelo Lee and Stephen Fulton fighting. You know what I'm saying? Looking forward to that one, but we'll see how that played down, how it boiled down. But hey, man, let me know what you guys think. Like I said, I don't know where Callum Smith get off at. Has he ever fought in America? I haven't checked his box rate, but once again, I always got to put this disclaimer out there before we move on to the next one. I got to put this disclaimer out here. When you fight Canelo, it's gonna be impossible for you to win unless you knock the kid out. So I'm not mad at these dudes for getting this much money. You're not gonna get a fair decision. You're not gonna get a fair shake. You may not get a fair shake with the testing. It's so much bull job that come with Canelo. So I don't blame Callum, David, Ryder, Quigley, Torian Johnson, Anthony Dirrell, Sergey Derevchenko. At the end of the day, when Derevchenko said that Canelo Canelo was an easier fight than Charlo. I don't know what he was talking about, but it's just a lot of bull job that come with Canelo, man. Even if you beat him, you knock him out, they're gonna wake him up with some smellless out in the ammonia, bring him back to the ring on an ambulance stretcher, and finish the fight and rob you. And that's why a lot of dudes, it's hard to get opponents for Canelo. It ain't just because of the money, it's because you're not gonna get a fair shake. And everybody know Golden Boy greasy on the scorecards. They greasy with stacking the raps. They greasy with the drug testing. The WBC gonna have this back 10, 50 players deep. So it don't even matter no more. But let's move on to what y'all know about next. I ended off on Óscar Valdez. Gilberto Ramírez, I've been saying this forever, that he was working on a buyout with Top Rank. Bob Arum got him a title shot versus Alvarez for the vacant WBO left behind by Canelo Alvarez. But I do understand everybody can't catch every video, every live stream when we speak on that. But according to him, he bought himself out. You know what I'm saying? Not sure how much money it took to buy himself out. He was trying to jump ship and go over to Eddie Hearn in the zone. I expect him to go over to Matchroom or the zone. Don't understand why if the zone got no money. Gilberto Ramírez, he got star potential power, but I don't really see him doing much at that division. But once again, he didn't want to fight Elder Alvarez for the vacant belt. He probably trying to get away from Arthur Perturbia. He ain't trying to go through that abuse. So running over to the zone and fighting Dimitri Bivol potentially might put him right, in a spot where it's a winnable fight for him in his mind, because he don't bring the power and the tenacity that Perturbia do. And then also, I think Bivol ranked a little bit higher in hardcore fans than minds than Elder Alvarez. You know what I'm saying? I thought Alvarez should be able to beat him. Should have been a good fight. Not sure. I do know Kovalev and Barrera are supposed to be fighting at some point. I guess I'll take an interest in that. I'm not mad at it. I think it's at a catchweight or something like that. That's what it's supposed to be before, this corona pandemic kicked off. But, he's been trying to work about himself out, but you see the difference. Mikey had to wait, and go through court. And you never know. Mikey could have more fights left. So you never know the situation. Floyd Mayweather got to buy himself out of his contract. Oscar De La Hoya got out his contract, or his contract ran out. So Top Rank just, pretty much, stunted him and Gilberto Ramirez and Oscar Valdez's growth. People forget they did that little cheap pay-per-view card at the StubHub Center a couple years ago. Man, I remember that because I streamed that, Bob. I didn't buy it, but I streamed it. And I like Gilberto Ramirez and Oscar Valdez when they was younger. It's Bob Arum fought and Carl Moretti and Todd DeBuff fought for what happened to him. This is when Top Rank was on a bully as far as only making in-house fights, and they didn't want to outsource and work with other promoters. And eventually that hurt, Gilberto Ramirez and Oscar Valdez. Valdez went through a lot of wars with, unnecessary fighters for no belts and for mandatories and for short money. And Gilberto Ramirez stunted his growth by fighting Max Brunswick, whatever his name was, older Arthur Abraham. They never tried to unify. They never tried to challenge those skill sets, and those skill sets became stagnant. Valdez, Ramirez never grew. They're supposed to be the new school, the leaders of the new school for top-ranked Mexican boxing. And pretty much, Bob Arum didn't want to play ball with other promoters and make the fights that was right for Ramirez and that was right for Valdez. And ultimately, it didn't work out the way it should have worked out for them, man. And that's Top Rank fault. Top Rank spoiled Gilberto and Oscar Valdez. They'll never be the fighters that they once were. It's over with. That's what happened when you keep fighting, subpar competition, and you get a step up, just a little step up. They didn't even have a little step up. They was just like, it's like walking on a platform back and forth, just walking back and forth. That's what their opponent level was like. And eventually, Valdez got into some wars that he can't get back in his career. Physically and mentally he can't get back. And that's what it was. They got to a certain point, they just kept walking across. When other fighters kept going up and up and up, and you could say that could be about Caleb playing David Benavidez. If they don't start stepping a level opposition up, they may get their growth stunted, especially for moving forward in other weight classes. But, Ramirez bought himself out. It's been in the works for months now, since he ducked the fade from Alvarez, and Bob was trying to give him a belt. So, not sure eventually what he's looking for, but I do know he wasn't looking for fight Beterbiev, and I think that's what they had lined up for him, and he wasn't looking to fight Alvarez. So, at the end of the day, he gonna be what he gonna be. An average fighter. He gonna go down as a forgotten fighter. I just thought he was gonna be really good, but he never grew as a fighter, and that's because of Bob and Todd DeBuff and the matchmaker Carl Moretti. That's because of Bob didn't want to work with nobody. Bob should have, made those fights with other super middleweights at the time. I mean, George Groves, he held the belt. Carl Froch, he held the belt at some of them times, and I guess, they just chose not to do business with nobody, and they kept it in-house, and that what happened. So, Oscar Valdez should go over to Fight Hub. He did a short interview with Marcos Villegas, Fight Hub TV. I think he probably going to break the interview down in parts, or this might be a flashback, but he was asked, and I didn't even think Oscar Valdez sound like that, but sound funny to me, but he was asked, did he duck Shakur Stevenson? He said, no, I didn't duck Shakur Stevenson. I wanted to move up in weight. Miguel Berchelt is a bigger fight. He a bigger puncher. This, that, and the third. I don't know why people think, he dropped his belt, he said. And Marcos is basically like, yeah, I don't understand. What the fuck you mean you don't understand? I know you trying to play the role as an interviewer. I ain't mad at you. But what you mean you don't understand? This dude dropped his belt when Shakur Stevenson became mandatory. Now, had Diego Magadon became mandatory, would Oscar Valdez have dropped that belt? No, he would have defended the belt. But he like, Berchelt is a better fighter. He's more experienced, and he probably bring more money. He gonna bring the same amount of risk because he can punch, but he bring more money. These Mexicans would rather lose to themselves than fight a black fighter. What Shakur Stevenson gonna go through is what Floyd went through. People say, Floyd didn't fight Morales and Barrera, none of them. Yeah, they fought Pacquiao because Pacquiao, they thought they can beat Pacquiao, which, Eric Morales did beat him once. They didn't think that much of Pacquiao. Anytime you can hit and don't get hit, and you master boxing, and you master distance and controlling distance and maintaining distance, these Mexican fighters don't want to fight you. But as soon as you get a belt, and these Europeans didn't want to fight you, same thing with Nigel Benn and motherfucking Eubanks Sr. They didn't want to fight James Toney and none of them dudes like that. But as soon as you get a belt, as soon as you start getting pound for pound status, as soon as you start making money, Now you make sense. Now they want to come out the woodworks and say, well, Shakur didn't want to fight me. I want to fight Shakur. Now he going to get the Warringtons trying to fight him. And if I'm Shakur Stevenson, man, nah, fuck that. When I wanted to fight you, nope, I ain't trying to fight you. Become mandatory. I'm going to beat the hell out of you. But we know Valdez for the shit he ducked. He ain't fought nobody his entire career, bro. This career is a sham. Once again, Top Rank didn't want to work with Gary Russell fight. They didn't want to make a Frampton fight. They didn't want to make a Leo Santa Cruz fight. And some of them dudes I think he could have beat. At this point, he a broke down, run down, old S10 Ford 1980-something truck. It's a wrap. He rusty. He busted. Ain't shit good in the hood. Eddie Reynoso, Canelo Alvarez, motherfucking Nacho Beristain himself can't save Óscar Valdez. Straight up and down. Well, I don't understand why people think I duck. All of a sudden, Shakur become number one. You drop your belt. What you mean? You duck? I'm going to chase Miguel Berchelt. And Miguel Berchelt, that ain't no good cosign either. He ducking black fighters too. How you ducking Jamel Herring? Everybody believe he should beat Jamel Herring, right? How you duck Jamel Herring? It's just how the Mexican fighters is, bro. They be able to get away with it because they can. And then when these black fighters become top dog and they start bringing a little bit of money, now they want to fight them. Now I wouldn't fight neither one of them. He said, well, when I get, beat Valdez and we goes playing, I beat Berchelt and Shakur become number one, then we can fight. Man, come on, man. We know you're not going to beat fucking Berchelt. Straight up and down, bro. We know you're not going to beat Berchelt. It's over with for him. His last 4 fights, getting his jaw broken and getting beat up by no-name guys. It's a wrap. He got all that ability to be able to hit and don't get hit, and he just constantly just block punches with his face. He should have got a black coach, but Eddie Reynoso, a good coach. He can help him. But let me know what you guys think about the video. Don't forget you can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. All the links in the description. If you got business question, inquiry, sponsorship, video requests, keep sharing the videos. Want to make a donation to the channel, just share the video. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, bell icon button, thumbs up the video. Other than that, man, Cash App, PayPal in the description. And, let me know what you guys think about Canelo, Callum, the Gilberto Ramírez buying himself out. He probably heading to Matchroom, DAZN. You probably heard they chasing the Dimitri Bivol fight. And let me know what you think about Óscar Valdez responding to ducking Shakur Stevenson. We all know you duck. What's already understood ain't got to be explained, my brother. One time for the one time. Goodfellas Sports TV, we gone.